Is a red line for the United States, in your judgment, our NATO allies, particularly the Baltics, if Russia should cross that line?
Well, I think we need to act before that. I think it's too late. If he crosses into the Baltics with military units, that is more than troubling. That means that Georgia, the country of Georgia, is likely had been more further invaded than it already is. It means that he's taken land in the Ukraine, the southern and eastern portions of Ukraine before I think he would do the Baltics. So if it gets to the Baltics, we have allowed people who want to be free, who want to be independent, who want to have self-determination, and we've turned our back and walked away from them. You know, the world did that once, and it was a major catastrophe.
I want to touch on a couple of other areas quickly. On the issue of the N.S.A. surveillance and Edward Snowden, when you were last on this program, Chairman, you were very pointed, suggesting that he may have had help from the Russians, that Edward Snowden may have been a Russian spy, may be a Russian spy. He's called that absurd. No new details have come to light on this. Were you irresponsible in making such a charge without having specific evidence to back it up, to just sort of float that out there?
Well, first of all, I see all the intelligence and all the evidence from everything from his activities leading up to this event to very suspicious activity during the event. And so when you talk to the folks who are doing the investigation, they cannot rule it out. So here's what we know, David. We know today no counterintelligence official in the United States does not believe that Mr. Snowden, the N.S.A. contractor, is not under the influence of Russian intelligence services. We believe he is. I certainly believe he is today. So now we all agree that he's under the influence of Russian intelligence services today. You know, for the investigators, they need to figure out, well, when did that influence start? And was he interested in cooperating earlier than the timeline would suggest? So you're talking to a guy who stole information, who is now in the arms of intelligence services, saying, well, gosh, whatever you guys say is absurd. Only I can define the truth. That's ridiculous on its face. I do believe there's more to this story. He is under the influence of Russian intelligence officials today. He's actually supporting, in an odd way, this very activity of brazen brutality and expansionism of Russia. He needs to understand that. And I think Americans need to understand that. We need to put it in proper context.
But what is the evidence that he is under that influence? As he has pointed out, why go to Hong Kong? When he originally got to Russia, he was stranded in the airport. That's no way to treat a spy, he has pointed out. So you're arguing a lot, but where's the evidence to suggest that he's actually under the influence of a foreign intelligence agency?
Well, again, today we believe he's under the influence, and every counterintelligence official believes that. You won't find one that doesn't believe today he's under the influence of Russian intelligence services. That we can all agree on. It's when did that start that there is I think there is really good evidence. In this case, the more that we look into this, I think the more you're going to find that that date gets further and further away from his story. Matter of fact, I don't believe the story he tells about both the airport or his activities in Hong Kong are accurate. It just gets more complicated. And as I said, he's clearly in Moscow under the influence of intelligence services for a country that is expanding its borders today using military force. I think there's a lot more questions that need to be answered here.